Understand English but can't speak?
Speak simple.
Speak confident.
English Boost.
Boost your English.
Did you know that last year more than 30% of shoppers admitted they bought a jacket they never wore? I heard a story about a friend who spent $200 on a coat that turned out to be a cheap knockoff, and it sparked a whole debate about how we choose clothes in stores. It's a perfect reminder that the shopping experience can be both exciting and a little risky.
Wow, Alex, that's a wild story. It really shows how a simple trip to the store can turn into a lesson about quality, price, and style. I'm excited to dive into those details with you today, especially for our beginner listeners who are still building confidence in English conversations about everyday activities.
Exactly, Sarah. In this episode, we'll explore how to talk about deciding what to buy, trying things on, comparing big malls with cozy boutiques, and even mastering the art of the sale rack. We'll sprinkle in useful phrases, surprising facts, and a few rhetorical questions to keep your mind engaged.
Listeners, by the end of our chat, you'll be able to describe your shopping preferences, ask for help with sizes, and share your own style tips in English without hesitation. We'll also highlight common mistakes and how to avoid them, so you feel confident the next time you step into a fitting room.
Here's a quick roadmap. First, we'll talk about planning your purchase. Then we'll move to trying on clothes and dealing with sizes. After that, we'll compare different store environments. And finally, we'll discuss sales strategies and confidence building. Sound good?
Sounds perfect, Alex. Let's jump right in and discover what makes a clothing shopping trip both fun and educational. And remember, if you ever feel stuck, just think of the story I'm about to share about the mysterious coat. It's a great reminder to ask the right questions.
When you walk into a store, the first decision is often whether you have a clear idea of what you need or you're just browsing. What most people don't realize is that having a mental checklist can save you both time and money. Do you usually write down a few key items before you head out, Sarah?
I try to, Alex, but sometimes the excitement of seeing new arrivals throws my list out the window. That's why I keep a simple rule. I note the type of garment, the color I prefer, and a price range. It helps me stay focused while still leaving room for spontaneous finds.
But here's what's really interesting. Research shows that shoppers who set a budget before entering are 40% less likely to make impulse purchases. So having that price range in mind can act like a guardrail. Have you ever walked out with a bag full of items you didn't plan to buy?
Oh, absolutely. I once left a store with 3 scarves I didn't need because they were on sale, and my wallet felt the pain later. And that's just the beginning of the story about how sales can both help and hurt us.
Here's where it gets fascinating. Sales are designed to create a sense of urgency, often using phrases like limited time only or while supplies last. The brain interprets those cues as a fear of missing out, which can override rational budgeting. So how do you decide whether a discount is truly worth it?
I ask myself 3 questions. Do I need it? Does it fit my style? And will I wear it more than twice? If the answer to any of those is no, I walk away, even if the price tag says 70% off. That little mental checklist saves me from buyer's remorse.
Exactly. Now moving on to the fitting room, the arena where confidence meets reality. What most shoppers overlook is that lighting in the fitting room can change how colors appear, making a bright red look more muted than it does under store lights. Have you ever noticed that discrepancy?
Yes, I have. I once tried on a navy sweater that looked perfect under the fluorescent lights, but once I got home under natural sunlight, it looked more like a gray shade. That's why I always take a quick photo in the fitting room to compare later. It's a simple trick that many don't know about.
But here's what's really interesting. Different brands have wildly varying size standards. A medium in one store could be a small in another, which is why many shoppers end up returning items more often than they keep them. How do you navigate that maze, Sarah?
I always check the brand's specific size chart before I try anything on, and I ask the sales associate for their recommendation. If I'm still unsure, I'll bring a piece of clothing that fits well at home and compare it to the store's version. That way I have a tangible reference point.
Speaking of sales associates, their expertise can be a hidden gem. What most people don't realize is that knowledgeable staff can suggest alternatives that match your style and budget, often pulling items from the back room that aren't on the floor. Have you ever gotten a great recommendation from a clerk?
Definitely. Once a clerk showed me a jacket that wasn't on display but fit my color preferences perfectly, and it was half the price of the front row options. It felt like a secret treasure hunt, and I left feeling like I'd discovered something special.
Here's where it gets fascinating. The layout of the store itself influences buying behavior. Stores often place high-margin items at eye level and keep accessories near the checkout to trigger impulse buys. So walking the perimeter first can help you stay focused on your primary goal.
I've started doing exactly that. I walk past the accessories and head straight to the sections that match my list, then I circle back if I have time. And that strategy has cut my checkout time by almost half, which is a win for anyone in a hurry.
But here's what's really interesting. Boutique stores, though smaller, often offer more personalized service and unique pieces. What most shoppers don't realize is that these shops can provide higher quality fabrics at comparable prices because they source directly from designers. Have you ever preferred a boutique over a department store?
I love boutiques for the one-of-a-kind items, Alex. The atmosphere feels more intimate, and the staff usually know the story behind each piece. However, I still appreciate the convenience of department stores when I need a quick purchase or a broad selection.
Exactly, and that leads us to another key point, the psychology of sales recs. Here's where it gets fascinating. The treasure hunt feeling triggers dopamine release, making us more likely to buy something we weren't originally looking for. Have you ever felt that rush when you spot a hidden gem on a clearance shelf?
Oh, absolutely. I once found a designer scarf for 20% of its original price, and the excitement was unreal. That moment made me realize that patience and willingness to explore can pay off big time, especially during end-of-season sales.
But here's what's really interesting. Timing matters. Studies show that shopping on weekdays, especially early mornings, reduces crowds and gives you more space to try on clothes comfortably. It also means sales staff have more time to assist you personally. Do you plan your shopping trips around the clock, Sarah?
I try to, yes. I usually go on Tuesday mornings when the store is quiet, and I can focus on each item without feeling rushed. That also gives me the chance to ask more detailed questions without the pressure of a line forming behind me.
What most people don't realize is that the act of trying on clothes can boost confidence, even if the item doesn't end up being purchased. The mirror provides instant feedback, and adjusting a garment can teach you what fits your body shape best. Have you ever discovered a new style simply by experimenting in the fitting room?
Yes. I once tried on a blazer that I thought was too formal, but after adjusting the sleeves and pairing it with jeans, it became my go-to piece for casual Fridays. That experience taught me that mixing and matching can break the stereotype of formal versus casual.
Here's where it gets fascinating. The concept of wardrobe staples can simplify future shopping trips. By identifying a few core pieces that you love, you can build around them and avoid buying items that clash. What are your 3 staple items, Sarah?
I'd say a well-fitted denim jacket, a versatile white shirt, and a pair of comfortable black boots. These pieces anchor my outfits and make it easier to incorporate new trends without feeling overwhelmed. And that's just the beginning of building a functional wardrobe.
But here's what's really interesting. Language plays a role too. When you describe clothing using specific adjectives like tailored, flowy, or structured, helps sales staff understand exactly what you're after. It also improves your English fluency in everyday contexts. How do you usually describe what you want, Sarah?
I try to be as descriptive as possible. I'll say I'm looking for a lightweight, water-resistant jacket with a zip front and a hood. That way, the associate can filter options quickly. It also feels empowering to use precise vocabulary.
Exactly. And that brings us to a final cliffhanger, the moment you decide to purchase. What most people don't realize is that the final decision often hinges on a subtle feeling of fit, comfort, confidence. If any of those 3 elements falters, you might walk away. So, how do you know when the feeling is right?
I do a quick move check. I sit, walk, and raise my arms to see if the garment moves with me naturally. If I feel comfortable and confident, I know it's a keeper. And if there's any hesitation, I either ask for a different size or put it back. That simple test saves a lot of regret later.
And that's just the beginning of mastering the art of in-store shopping. By combining strategic planning, mindful fitting, and confident communication, you turn a routine errand into a skillful, enjoyable experience. Ready to put these tips into practice on your next outing?
Absolutely, Alex. I can already picture myself walking into a store with my checklist, trying on clothes with purpose, and leaving with a smile. Listeners, remember that the journey is as important as the destination, especially when it comes to feeling good in what you wear.
Well, Sarah, we've covered everything from budgeting and size charts to boutique treasures and confidence checks. I hope our listeners feel equipped to tackle their next shopping trip with both English fluency and savvy style. Any final words of encouragement?
Just remember, Alex, the best outfit is the one that makes you feel comfortable and confident, no matter the price tag. Don't be afraid to ask questions, try things on, and enjoy the process. Shopping can be a fun language practice if you treat it as a conversation with yourself and the staff.
Exactly. And if you missed any of our tips, feel free to replay this episode. The more you listen, the more natural the phrases become. We'll also post a quick cheat sheet of key vocabulary on our website for easy reference.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and let us know in the comments which shopping scenario you'd like us to explore next. Your feedback shapes our future conversations, and we love hearing from you.
Thanks for joining us today, and happy shopping. May your next jacket be perfect, your fits be flawless, and your English be ever improving.
Take care, everyone, and remember, confidence is the best accessory you can wear. Until next time, keep practicing and enjoy the journey.